Goals, dreams, moving forward. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. No one can tell about us better than ourselves. Watch the block of programs of TV BRICS International Network on Umtala TV, South Africa.
Vinay Kumar, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of India to the Russian Federation. He graduated from the Indian Institute of Technology in 1991. He has worked in Indian missions in Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Canada, Poland, and Iran. He also was India's political coordinator at the UN Security Council. He headed the Indian mission in Afghanistan and later in Myanmar. In 2024, he assumed the post of Indian ambassador to Russia.
Your Excellency, thank you for joining us and for agreeing to give us an exclusive interview.
You are always welcome. Pleasure to meet with you.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Russia twice in 2024. What is the significance of these visits for strengthening bilateral ties, and what key agreements and outcomes emerged from these engagements?
Between India and Russia, we have for more than 2 decades, actually since the year 2000, a tradition of annual exchange of visits between the President of the Russian Federation and Prime Minister of India. So we have been having these annual exchanges since 2000, and it was disrupted during the COVID period. So Prime Minister's first resumption of this annual summits between the leaders of the two countries. And during that visit, the focus was discussion on the entire multifaceted relationship that India and Russia share between each other. A number of agreements, including in trade and economic affairs, were signed during that visit, apart from the joint statement, which expanded on the whole range of issues and the perspectives of the two countries on bilateral, regional and global issues. The second visit of the Prime Minister was to attend the summit, BRICS summit in Kazan, which underscored the importance that we attach to the BRICS forum. And during that visit also there was a bilateral meeting with President Putin, though there were no bilateral agreement signed. So I would say that these two visits, it just happened that Russia was chairing, and it is obviously important to underscore how seriously we take economic cooperation within the framework of BRICS. And so we had a situation of 2 visits of Prime Minister to Russian Federation. Though I must say that it has also happened earlier. So it was not the first time that we had this situation.
Interest in Indian culture is only growing in Russia. How can we further enhance cultural exchange, particularly through language learning and arts?
One very important aspect of the multifaceted relationship, as I said, between our two countries is culture. There is a very long and very deep tradition of Indian studies in Russia. Russian painters, geographic experts, have traveled to India for several centuries. The academic institutions in Russian Federation have promoted Indian studies of Sanskrit, Indian languages, the academic part of the cultural relations. There is tremendous popularity of Indian music, dance, generations in Russia and former Soviet Union grew up on Indian films of Raj Kapoor and all the films that he did. In fact, we had a film festival in Moscow and St. Petersburg coinciding with the 100th birth anniversary of the famous Raj Kapoor. Then we have yoga, which is very popular here. We had requests from more than 60 cities across Russia for partnership to celebrate International Day of Yoga. I would not like to forget to mention that an important aspect of our academic and cultural cooperation remains the number of Indian students studying in Russian Federation in various courses, but most importantly in medicine, which forms a very strong bond of friendship and exchanges between our two countries.
Not only culture, but tourism has always been a bridge between countries. Are there new initiatives planned to boost tourism between India and Russia? And what would you recommend to Indians visiting Russia and vice versa?
Tourism has been a very important area of cooperation between the two countries. Participation in tourism marts, promotional activities, establishment of relations and contacts between the tour operators are some of the things that we are doing. In India, a large number of Russian friends have been visiting the Indian sea beaches and coastlines for obvious reasons. It is so cold here and so warm there. But apart from the traditional areas of tourism, to Goa and other sea beaches, we have tremendous variety of the nature across the country, from high Himalayas, where you can do trekking and mountaineering and those activities, to visit of cultural sites, Ayurveda, nature healthcare system is something that is also very popular in several parts of the world, and that is also something that we are promoting among the Russian friends. On the other hand, Russia has a variety of tourist attractions which many Indians would like to see. At present, we have, as I mentioned, some constraints in terms of the civil airline services, but we will continue to work and expand on the existing number of tourists that we are receiving from Russian Federation.
And what message would you like to convey to the Indian diaspora in Russia and to Russians who are keen on learning about Indian culture and values?
Indian diaspora is a very important part of our overall relationship. There are more than 25,000 students and several thousand traders and business people, investors. Some Indian companies have invested in very important sectors, including healthcare, pharmaceuticals, also some in manufacturing, machine tools, etc. in Russian Federation. And they form a very important pillar of our relationship. The role that they play also in a spread of Indian culture, Indian traditions among their Russian friends is something very important. And for the first time, two members of Indian diaspora in Russia have been recognized for their work in cultural cooperation and education in the what we call Pravasi Bharatiya Samman, which is an award given to the diaspora members in the global summit of people of Indian origin and non-resident Indians, which was held in India. Two members of the Indian diaspora in Moscow were recognized for their contribution. I would only say that they are, in fact, the ambassadors of India among the Russian friends wherever they work, in whichever sectors they are engaged in, by their behavior, by their conduct, by their interaction with the Russian friends in celebrations of Indian festivities, Indian festivals. They become a very important link between the two countries. And they would certainly work with us and similarly work with the Russian authorities, the local government, towards promotion of these cultural exchanges and connects between the two countries.
India actively advocates sustainable development. What collaborative efforts with Russia do you foresee in addressing global challenges such as climate change?
Let me first say that we have the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which translates as the whole earth is one family. It is not only humanity is one family, rather the entire earth which sustains human beings and includes plants, animals, everything that is there on the planet Earth is taken by our culture to belong to one family, because by disturbing any one of that aspect, we disturb everything else. So sustainability in human endeavors has always been very deep-rooted in Indian culture. So living a lifestyle in which we care not only for our comfort and our well-being and aspirations for our socio-economic technological development, but also to doing that in such a manner that the future generation also have access to the natural resources and clean air, clean environment, clean water is extremely important part of the development paradigm that we follow. And in that, all countries need to cooperate, because after all, it is one earth which we all share among ourselves. And Russian Federation becomes very important in that overall mission of climate change and sustainable development. So the experience of Russian Federation in maintaining that environment, sharing the resources with others, and sharing the technology so that we use those resources in the most sustainable fashion is very important. And naturally, we have very deep cooperation with Russia in climate change and environmental protection. As a matter of fact, we have bilateral agreements and we maintain regular exchanges with our Russian counterparts on the overall discussions of climate change and sustainable development.
And how do you see the evolving role of BRICS in world economy, and how Russia and India can contribute to the cohesion and success of the group?
We see BRICS as an important institution for economic collaboration. In its existence, BRICS has already attained many successes. One of the most important is, of course, New Development Bank, which has provided lending to the tune of $35 billion to member states, but also many other partner countries of BRICS in Africa and other countries of Global South. You will see that in last couple of years there has been growing interest among Global South in partnership with BRICS, and it underscores that not only BRICS has done good work for its members, but also generated interest among others for partnership with BRICS, and that will continue with the cooperation of this institution, members of these institutions in a consensus building manner, which meets the socio-economic development needs of the Global South in general, and of course its own members.
Indonesia recently joined BRICS as a full-fledged member. How do you assess the prospects of cooperation with Indonesia within BRICS, and what's the new status of this country will play in economic cooperation between India and Southeast Asia?
We have been a very active supporter of Indonesia's membership in the BRICS. So we extend a very warm welcome to Indonesia in the fold of BRICS. So far as India is concerned, Indonesia is a strategic partner, a maritime neighbor, with which we share a very ancient civilizational and cultural ties. It is today also the largest trade partner of India in ASEAN, in Southeast Asia. This membership of Indonesia in BRICS expands BRICS presence in a very new area geographically, but also very fast expanding area so far as economy is concerned. BRICS stands to benefit by Indonesia's membership, and so will Indonesia benefit from BRICS memberships. It will not only provide further economic contacts and cooperation within the fold of BRICS, but also enrich BRICS deliberations on a number of issues of importance for the region and the wider world generally.
Technological cooperation within BRICS is a promising area. What recent breakthroughs and cooperations do you believe are most significant for the group, and how Russia and India can lead the way?
Russia and India, of course, have had very long history of scientific and technological cooperation across the sector. Within the framework of BRICS, one of the major development has been creation of a platform, creation of the opportunities for Global South to benefit from the technologies which are of immediate and immense value to the common people. So BRICS vaccine platform, for example, is something that is helping members of Global South to build capacity to produce vaccines, to exchange knowledge and know-how in this area. Digital inclusion is something that is of immense value for Global South. We want to ensure that in the digital revolution that we are passing through now, artificial intelligence, the poorer part of the world, of the global south, does not lag behind. So the entire set of digital revolution that we have seen in India, in fintech, in UPIs, Unified Payment Interface, in electronic identity systems. These are all being shared with the members of Global South, and India has offered that cooperation and enabling sharing of technology within the framework of BRICS too. I think it is one of the most prospective areas for cooperation within BRICS.
The establishment of a common currency for BRICS remains a hot topic. What are your thoughts on how this concept could evolve and what steps might be necessary for its successful implementation?
At this stage, this is not really an issue. The BRICS members states have been focusing on trade settlement in national currencies, and that's what is being handled, and that's what is currently under implementation. Ease of payments to promote international trade and use of national currencies in that is something that is making progress, and I think member states will continue working on that.
You have a considerable experience working in different regions of the world. How does your current position and role in Russia compare to it, and what unique aspects of India-Russia relations attract your attention?
All the places, all the stations where I have worked have been very interesting. And it is something that the government decides where to use the personnel of the Foreign Service in the diplomatic work. So far as Moscow, Russian Federation is concerned, this is one of the most important stations, countries for India. And so I am happy and privileged actually to have been selected to serve as Indian ambassador in Moscow. And as I've been using this word multifaceted, this relationship is very deep, and practically 20, 25, 30 different ministries and departments of Government of India and Government of Russian Federation have very direct and regular contacts with each other. The India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission for Trade, Economic, Scientific, Technological and Cultural Cooperation has more than 16 working groups and 6 subgroups. Getting them all running is something that takes a lot of attention, and at the levels of the concerned departments and officials. And the very exchange of visits, the number of exchanges that take place annually will give you the sheer depth of the relationship. So it is certainly one of the most desirable and most enjoyable postings that any diplomat would want to aspire for.
Your Excellency, thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you very much. Welcome.